Hello, this is J. Greg Morrison, Project Director of Spark Holmes County, our coalition here in Holmes County, Ohio. I'm with Anazao Community Partners. I want to thank you for taking a look at this webinar of our SPF-PFS process. A little community background about Holmes County, and there's some important things that one would want to consider when looking at Holmes County and alcohol, underage alcohol use. Many adults in Holmes County think that underage drinking is some sort of inevitable rite of passage, or too many adults often think that adolescents are just going to drink. And you know, it's often seen as a local tradition, or it's multi-generational. Folks that are raised to have a favorable attitude toward alcohol tend to parent in a similar way. Sometimes they say things like, at least it's just alcohol and not drugs. Alcohol is legal and widely acceptable and available. It's often seen as a part of a rural lifestyle. And it can create a bond with family, that drinking with family somehow makes the young adolescent transition into adulthood. Sometimes folks believe that there's nothing exciting to do in rural communities, and that drinking is just a common activity that's going to make social gatherings more exciting. They often think that youth are going to try it eventually. They may want to initiate that and be their friend's kid in doing that, or their kid's friend rather, and you know, mistakenly believing that they're doing them a favor. The best that they can do sometimes is feel that reducing the harm of the alcohol consequence is what would be best for their young child. They teach them how to drink in the safety of the home, or that they say, hey, we'll take the keys and you won't drive. At least you won't get in trouble with the law if you don't leave the house. Perhaps it's even that they believe that their children won't accept a no-use message from them if they drink themselves, fearing that their youth are going to call them a hypocrite if they expect them not to drink. Another point to consider would be that youth often have the misperception that more are using than actually are, that their peers are drinking and maybe they should join them. Maybe they grow up hearing that high school kids use, so if you're in high school, you're probably using too. They may see on social media that alcohol is often found in photos or mentioned in comments, and it confuses the young person. They think that they see so much of it on social media that it must be popular with their peers. And this tends to work as an advertisement for the drinking behavior. If popular kids, the leaders of the school, are using, then others must be following their lead. So popular youth must be setting the agenda for all students, and maybe that is a mistaken belief. It's new and exciting, and who doesn't like new and exciting? If alcohol is used to be cool, then all cool kids must be drinking. Youth also tend to exaggerate these points and generalize. So if a few cool kids are drinking, to be cool, it must mean that one must drink as well. A third point to consider, that youth don't view alcohol as a serious health risk. And, you know, they might be familiar with the temporary effects of alcohol, that people are loud and funny. Maybe they haven't seen or heard about the harmful effects to the brain, though, such as the progression of misuse to abuse, and then further on to addiction. Maybe the emotional or relational problems are often hidden as well, that those aren't so apparent. They might not quite link alcohol use to other drug use. They may also not see the clear consequences of alcohol use on TV and movies, where the script is limited to just showing the fun and not the consequence, the harm that can be done. Oftentimes, youth don't see alcohol as a drug. Sometimes alcohol isn't even referred to as a drug. They may also believe that the parents whom they trust and know what's good for them, if they drink, then drinking must not be that bad. They may also believe that drinking isn't that harmful because it's legal, that nothing legal could be harmful. It gives them the impression that it's safe, or only harmful if you get caught by the law. This lack of knowledge of the short-term or age-related consequence of drinking often perpetuates the mistaken belief about alcohol being a harmless activity for youth. Our priority problem to be addressed, of course, then will be underage drinking. Our data from Pride Survey 2014 shows that 7th, 9th, and 11th graders have used alcohol. And it's important to understand, though, that most are not using. So there is an increase from 7th grade to 11th grade. This priority population will be ages 12 through 17. And it's important to recognize that we would like to work with both East and West Holmes in order to create and maintain a county-wide capacity for our youth prevention work. It's important also to know that we will be working with both male and female, mostly white, non-Hispanic, rural youth. And Holmes County is considered a northern Appalachian county. The priority population, it's often important to understand a little bit more about how youth do not believe that alcohol is a serious health risk. It is not a drug, or is not that dangerous when compared to other drugs. Too often, youth do not consider drug addiction itself. They do not think alcohol is like other drugs. Perhaps there isn't the stigma with alcohol like there is with other drugs, like methamphetamine, pills, and heroin. And the legality makes it seem like it's not a drug. They often don't hear about the consequences that occur from drinking. They don't see the rapid progression to addiction. Perhaps they don't see the hidden or emotional relational problems. But they also claim, though, that they have easy access to alcohol, and that it's found in many homes, that adults have it where youth are. It could be parties, it could be family gatherings. It could very much be older college age and young adults who supply alcohol to younger youth, who also don't recognize that it's a problem. Youth often believe, too, that many peers are drinking. This misperception could very well be that they're just unaware of the data, the actual number of students who say that they are actually not drinking. They generalize the behavior of a few over the entire youth population. They often underestimate the number of students who make the choice not to drink. Our problem statement is that because our Pride survey indicates that although most 7th, 9th, 11th grade Holmes County youth do not drink alcohol, there is, however, an increase of regular alcohol use from 7th grade to 11th grade. It will be important to popularize the fact that most youth are not drinking alcohol regularly, have not drank in the last 30 days. We hope this will help to change the misperception that youth alcohol use is an inevitable rite of passage of adolescence in Holmes County. I want to thank you for viewing this webinar and their slide presentation. Again, I'm J. Greg Morrison, Project Director at Spark Holmes County. My phone number is 330-466-8876, and my email is morsonj@anazao.co. Thank you very much.